Let's be real, y'all. Balancing everything feels impossible sometimes between work, the kids, the home, and trying to squeeze in 5 minutes of peace, baby. It's a lot. You sit down to focus, but your brain is like laundry, emails, dinner, your kid's science project. Oh, wait, what was I supposed to do again? You know what I'm talking about. And yeah, same for me. I've been there. But what if I told you there's a way to trick your brain into staying focused, actually enjoying your to-do list and feeling motivated all day long, period. And without needing 3 hours of quiet or a miracle, okay? That's what we're gonna talk about today. That's where the dopamine list comes in. And y'all, this is not just a to-do list. It's a system that gives you momentum, motivation, and those little I'm proud of me moments all day long. And yes, it totally works for busy moms who are juggling it all. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and thanks for joining me for another video. This is gonna be a good one. This is Marquita from AtHomeWithQuita, and here I share tips on how to plan a balanced life. So if you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Okay, y'all, today is all about the dopamine list. This is the busy mom's secret weapon to focus, stay motivated, and keep your sanity all day. So I'm gonna show you exactly how you're gonna create your daily dopamine list. And I'm telling you, when you implement this, baby, watch how everything changes for you, okay? And of course, as always, I have an insert for that. Y'all know I love creating a streamlined way so that you don't have to always use a notebook. Of course, you can just use a notebook, a sheet of paper to create your dopamine list, but I feel like everything's better when it's structured. So I always try to create an insert so that way all you got to do is literally just write in the insert. And I love that for you. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through this whole process step by step because I know you may be thinking dopamine list. What is my good sis talking about? A dopamine list, we all know what dopamine is, right? So this is going to be a list where you're going to be really super intentional and focused for the day. And then you're going to reward yourself. You're also going to reflect on that day, talk about or reflect on your wins, how you can improve for the next day. You're going to write some notes in of just random thoughts. And then you're going to write a little blurb about how you want to reflect on what just transpired. Hopefully this list really helps you to transform your day and to just be more motivated so that you don't have those moments where you're just like, oh my gosh, this is too much. I can't focus. Okay, that's what the whole point of this is. So I'm going to walk you through each and every step of the process. But first and foremost, this is how the insert looks. There is a little instructional at the top that tells you exactly what to do. And then you have all of the other little spots that we're going to write in. And again, I'm going to show you exactly how to use this list. So let's get into it. Okay, boom. Let me zoom you in so you can see this more clearly because I'm telling you, y'all are going to be thanking me in the comments. Okay. So once you pick this up, this is available in printed form. So it is available in Fancy Plans Code, so you'll just order it. Hopefully, eventually, sometime in the future, we'll have it as digital. Depending on how many comments I get today, maybe I'll add it as a digital. So comment below, let me know, do you want this today? You just want to go ahead and download it so that way you can print it out at home and then you'll have it. Let me know in the comments, and depending on how many comments we get, maybe I will quickly upload this to the shop so that you'll have this as a digital. But if I don't get the comment type energy that I want, then this is going to stay just a printed product, which is just fine as well. So you just order it from the shop in polka dot spine or blank spine, and then we will ship it out to you on our good paper. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in, and I'm gonna break it down to you. I'm telling you, I've been popping one of these in my planner every single day, and baby, it just helps me to be able to just focus better. And that's what this channel is all about, helping you to be more intentional with your day, to be able to focus and feel less overwhelmed, which is what we all want, right? Okay, so let's talk about it. First and foremost, you'll see at the top of the dopamine list, it tells you exactly how to use it, so you don't have to guess, okay? So you're gonna write down your main focus or goal for the day. You're gonna break it into small, doable tasks or focus blocks, okay? You're gonna add a mini reward after each task to activate that motivation. You're gonna reflect on your progress, wins, and lessons at the end of each day, okay? So let's start with step number one. You're gonna pick your tasks, okay? And this could be anything based on whatever you want to do during the day, but you wanna make sure that it's not the little busy tasks like washing the dishes. You wanna make sure that it's some things that are gonna make a real difference when it's done, okay? So let's say, for instance, let's write in block number one. Let's say we want to start at 9 o'clock. Now you don't have to write the time here, but I do like writing the time just to get it, wrapped around my mind that I'm starting a specific task at a specific time. But you don't have to do that. You can literally just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever works for you. So let's say, and this is just an example. I like to write things in just to show you how to use an insert as opposed to just showing you the after with everything written in. I can kind of talk you through exactly the whole motivation and mindset in terms of why I created an insert and exactly what to write in that particular section. Okay, so let's say you have a work report that's due. So we'll write in work report. Okay, so that's a major task that you want to get done for that day. You want to start that at 9 o'clock and you want to assign a reward to that task. Okay. Now that's where the real flex comes in, okay? Being able to reward yourself for these some little tasks, some big tasks is going to be such a motivating factor, okay? So there's so many examples of what you can write as a task. This is all what works for you, but you wanna make sure that you write in your focus block and you break it into your tasks, okay? Because that's where you're gonna make it doable. Big tasks are super overwhelming. So when it comes to these tasks that you're going to write here, it's not going to be a super big project. It's going to be, of course, in your mind, you have the overall big picture of what the project is going to be, but you want to write in a small task associated with that project that you can really break it down. Okay. Because let's be honest, big tasks are overwhelming. Okay. And that's why we procrastinate. So we're breaking them down into small focus blocks that you can actually finish. All right, so let's say you have a work task. You have different elements to that task. Maybe you have to draft something out, okay? And then maybe, let's say it's some sort of report. So you have to do the first draft and you have to write the middle section and then you have to write the ending, okay? I'm just showing you kind of how you would break those things down. You could put them all here. So it could be the bigger picture, or not the bigger picture, I'm sorry. You know the bigger picture in your mind, but the various tasks associated with one big project. Or you could do like what I'm gonna show you, where you're just gonna write down the little things throughout the day that chip away at certain projects throughout your life, as opposed to one big project. But you could do either or. And if you do in one big project, I would write that at the top and then I would break down the various tasks associated with that. So you can use this for work or you can use this for your personal life. I'm going to do a mixture of things so that way you could see, how that looks. And so another example of that would be like maybe you want a meal prep. So you'd write meal prep at the top. Then you want to break down those tasks. So it might be chopping up your veggies, cooking your proteins, and then putting them into containers. Just as an example to kind of show you how you would break those various things down. Again, you can assign a time to that. And then as things get done, you're going to reward yourself. And here's a pro tip. If you decide to put the time there, make sure you set a timer. Try to maybe stick to maybe 40 minutes or so of focus. And then you want to reward yourself with a 10-minute break. Okay, these small chunks are really going to train your brain to stay focused without being burnt out. Okay, you feel me? Okay, so a reward for your work report or a portion of that work report being completed may be, hey, I want to have an iced coffee. So that's going to be your reward for that. So again, you do that task, and then you take maybe a 5 to 10 minute dopamine reward break. So that way you can enjoy your iced coffee. And then you're going to get back on task and you're going to do the next thing. Let's say the second item in your work block, you want to start at 10 o'clock. Remember, we started the first at 9, then we took 10 minutes. All right. So however that works out for you best, do that. Okay. Let's say you want to send some follow-up emails. Okay. So follow up emails. And then your reward for that may be to take a 5-minute TikTok break. All right. So you're going to scroll for 5 minutes. Okay, let's say block number 3 is 12 o'clock and you want to fold the laundry. All right. After you fold your laundry, you're going to do some skincare as a reward. Remember, you're not doing a whole routine unless it takes 10 minutes because you only want to reward yourself for a short period of time. Then you want to get right back on track. Okay, so this is the fun part, the rewards. Because every time you complete a focus block, you're going to give yourself a mini treat. I'm telling y'all, the release of dopamine, that feel-good chemical, that's really going to boost that motivation, okay? So you can have whatever reward works for you. It might be sipping your favorite coffee, again, scrolling TikTok. It might be just to sit and breathe, no phone, no noise. It could be to dance with your kiddos. It's up to you, okay? Here's the thing. You must take the reward immediately after your focus block. That's how you teach your brain that hard work equals good feelings. You see how that works? Okay, so let's move on to number 4. Let's say number 4, you want to start that at 2 o'clock. Don't you love this? You want to prep lunch for the kids. Okay, and as a reward after that, you want to enjoy a snack. All right, and then finally, let's do one more. Number 5, maybe you want to start that at 4 o'clock. And that's going to be to update your budget, let's just say. So I tried to do a mixture of home tasks and work tasks because this can actually be for your whole day. So you could break it up by, whatever that, and you don't want to overfill it. That's why I only gave you 6 blocks, because if you overfill it, it's not going to be realistic. And let's say after you do that, you want to paint your nails. Okay, there's also a slot here for you to be able to check things off. So that way, that's going to give you another hit of dopamine when you see that check mark there. That just helps you to feel motivated to do this all over again the next day. Okay, so that's how your focus block would work, your task description and your rewards. So you want to go ahead and write that in. And again, do this every single day and then come back and report to me on how you feel. I guarantee you, stick with me. That's what this channel is all about, keeping you motivated, keeping you on track with all your goals and helping you to get the most done as you possibly can. Okay, so what's going to happen is that you're going to start looking forward to working because it literally feels good to get things done. You're going to start looking forward to folding laundry to some degree because we hate it. But when you reward yourself after you do it, you're going to look forward to it. I'm telling you, try this method out and you're going to really see a real change, okay? Now, again, we talked about setting deadlines. It's up to you with how you want to do that and how you want to structure that. But let's be honest, one big reason we procrastinate is because we don't have any sort of urgency to things. So when there's no deadline, we tell ourselves, I'll do it later. And then we don't, period. So we fake it. So you need to set some sort of artificial deadlines to kind of trick your brain into some urgency mode, if you will. So I try to do 40 minutes of focus, 10 minutes of reward, and then repeat that. Okay. So try that because it actually works and it works for moms too. Okay. And then you want to make sure that you track your visual wins. Now this is super de-duper important. Not de-duper. So there's a couple of things here in terms of various sections that you're going to write in at the end of your day. You're going to sit down, you're going to write in your wins, how you can improve, and just some notes of random things. So here's how that looks for me. Now, for me, I love making it visual because seeing progress is going to keep you going. So again, grab this sort of insert, which already has everything laid out for you, a notebook, whatever you want to do to track all of this stuff. Because every time you finish something, you cross it off with a colorful pen or highlighter. It is just going to give you that rush that you need. Okay, you'll be able to see how far you've come. It's going to build that confidence and self-trust, and it's going to become addictive. You'll want to keep checking off those boxes. All right, so just keep this list in one place. I like to pop it in my planner, and after a few weeks you'll literally see your consistency growing, and it's such a confidence boost. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to show you exactly how the wins would look. Again, I like to pre-fill in a page as opposed to just showing you it after the fact and you're like, okay, well, why did you write that there? You know what I mean? I like to kind of let you see it in action. So some wins could be that you felt good. It felt good that you started off a day with a win. So you got results early in the morning. So let's say that. Good. To start with a win. All right. Also, maybe, your big tasks were done by 12. That's a win. You had hot coffee as opposed to cold coffee. Okay. Maybe usually you can't get it in hot. Okay, so that's a win. Let's say you didn't aimlessly scroll. Because you only gave yourself a certain amount of time to do that. There was no last minute lunches. Because you had it all prepped. You stayed focused. You checked off things on your list. And you felt less stressed. All right, so that's how your wins would look. Hello, okay? Do y'all feel what do you pick up what I'm putting down and how powerful this is? So now there's gonna be wins. There's also gonna be ways that you can improve. So let me show you how that would look. Maybe you wanna start earlier before the kids wake up. Okay, maybe you want to shorten your focus blocks. Maybe 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, that hour was too much for that particular task. Maybe you don't need that much time. So you want to shorten those blocks. Okay, maybe you want to pick smaller rewards. Maybe you're doing too much and you can't do this in 10 minutes. So pick smaller rewards. All right, and maybe you're not getting enough dopamine by these rewards, so pick a little larger rewards, but you just want to make sure you can do them within that time period because you don't want to spend too much time on these rewards. Yes, they're rewards, but they're not hour-long rewards, okay? They're 10-minute rewards, all right? Maybe you want to prep your planner. Maybe you didn't prep your planner and you wrote this dopamine list the day of. Maybe it's going to work better for you to prep this the night before, or just your planner in general. Okay, maybe you want to stay off your phone during your focus blocks. Maybe you're doing too much and it's becoming a distraction for you. Okay, maybe you're not realistic enough with what you can do during your task description, so you need to change that. All right, maybe you are so focused that you forget to eat. So you want to remember to have lunch. Okay. And maybe you want to make sure that you're checking things off as they go. And you haven't been doing that because that's important. All right. So that's how, or some ways that maybe you may feel like you can improve. So now let's talk about how to use this note section. This is literally just for random things that just may pop up into your mind. So let's say you need to place an order for something. Let's say you need to order sticky notes. Okay, and this can be transferred onto something else, maybe a business planner or your daily planner or whatever the case may be. If you want to take it off this list, it can be put in an inbox, but this is literally just brain dump for the day. Okay, maybe you want to try a playlist, a focus playlist next time. So as you're doing these tasks, you have a playlist that plays in the background. Maybe you want to add a self-care block. This is just random stuff you're going to write. Maybe you want to try to batch your tasks. Okay, maybe you want to film a reel. Schedule your grocery delivery. Okay, maybe you feel like you have to be perfect and you just want to remind yourself to not chase perfection. Okay, and then maybe you want to get outdoors. You want to make sure that you add that to your reward maybe for tomorrow. Okay, so these are just random things that you need to get out of your head and onto paper, and to remind yourself to do certain things, whatever that looks like for you. It could just be literally whatever you want it to be. But that's kind of how it would look for me. And then lastly, the last step in the process, which is one of the most important steps in the process, is you want to make sure that you reflect, like really sit down and think about how this felt to write in all this stuff. What did that look like for you? This is going to be something you can look back on to motivate you to do it again tomorrow and to just see, how you felt about this whole process. So you want to make sure that you are using this section as well. All right. So I'm just going to write in something that I would typically write, you know, especially with, you know, knowing how this has been working for me. Okay, so maybe I want to say today was one of those days that used to feel impossible. Okay, so breaking it into blocks made me feel light and doable. Okay, every reward felt earned and it kept me motivated. Okay, I'm definitely repeating this for tomorrow. Okay, and I'm proud of myself for being consistent. All right, so that's kind of how that would look. This is going to look different, of course, for every person. So you're going to write in how you felt. I'm just giving you an idea of how this page looks completed and how you're going to use each section. Again, you have instructions there at the top, so it takes the guesswork out of everything. You know exactly how to use this. Plus, you'll have this video for reference, so make sure to save it so that way you can refer back to it once your inserts arrive, okay? And let me tell you one more thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is keep it consistent, okay? Not perfect. Because here's the truth. Consistency beats perfection every single time. So you don't need long hours of perfect focus. You just need to show up one block at a time, period. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, it all adds up, okay? When you use the dopamine list consistently, you're gonna start to notice less overwhelm, more confidence, real progress, even on those chaotic days, because this isn't about doing more, it's about feeling good while doing what matters. So this is gonna be your new secret weapon. You're gonna trick your brain, you're gonna reward your effort, you're gonna celebrate every single win, okay? The dopamine list is your built-in motivation system. It's made for busy moms who wanna progress, anybody who wanna progress without burnout. And if you wanna take it a step further, you got this list here. You can, again, use your notebook and just write it in that way, or you can grab this and be able to write it in on a list. You know how I do, okay? So, again, comment below. Let me know if you want me to turn this into a printable product. If I don't get that many comments, I ain't gonna do it. Okay, I'm just telling you that right now because it takes a lot of effort to do that in every single size. So it's gonna have to be like 20, 25, 30 comments, maybe more, in order for me to feel like I have the time and effort to do that. Otherwise, it is available. It's just that you have to purchase it from our shop. It's going to come on premium paper like all of our other products. And to be honest with you, I feel like that's the easiest thing to do for me. Just let me just get it and then you send it to me. You know what I mean? So this is the dopamine list, and this is such a genius way, again, to just get more done, feel good about it, celebrate your wins, figure out what you can improve on for every single day so that you can just get better at life. We want to get better at life, baby. Okay, so that's it, you guys. I definitely had to show this to you. I felt like this was just such a genius way to trick your brain into wanting to do more and to feeling good, which is what we all want in our lives. So hopefully this video helped you in some way. Let me zoom you out so you can see the whole thing. I really appreciate you guys for joining me. Thank you so much for watching today. Pop this in your week and watch how it transforms every single thing. And I know you're gonna come back to me and be like, sis, you've been holding out on me, okay? Why are you just now sharing this dopamine list hack? listen, sharing is caring. I share whenever I can. I have so much content, ideas built up, and I just got to execute it and share that with you guys. So I do it as I can, okay? But I'm sharing it with you now, right? A win is a win. So thanks again for stopping by today. I hope you appreciated this video. Hopefully you got some inspiration out of it. You found a new page that you want to add to your planner, which means you'll give me a thumbs up on this video. You'll consider subscribing to my channel if you're new here. And as always, come on back and catch me for another video, in which case I'll see you then.